Donald Trump's tariffs have fixed the economy. Just kidding. He's ruined the economy and he's nervous as hell. So he's blaming, you guessed it, Joe Biden.
Core GDP, and this is, you probably saw some numbers today. And I have to start off by saying that's Biden. That's not Trump, because we came in on January, this is quarterly numbers. And we came in and I was very against everything that Biden was doing in terms of the economy, destroying our country.
That's all, folks. He sounds like Porky Pig, and he's definitely nervous about messing up the economy, but he's not going to take blame. You know who's to blame? Jerome Powell, who was nominated by Joe Biden, I think.
Terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in.
It is my pleasure and my honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Oops. Trump nominated Jerome Powell. Not even Trump remembers it. What? Or is he just lying, huh? Let's see what Jerome Powell has to say about the economy.
So I think if you look at what's happening here, since March, this is since March, right? You see a little slower growth, just a tiny tick up, a 1/10 tick up in unemployment, and you see inflation moving up 0.3. And by the way, it was a similar move from the December SEP to the March. So that's what you see. You see the effects of tariffs. I think we learned in April, after the March meeting, that substantially higher tariffs were likely. And then since then, the estimates of where the tariffs will be have actually moved back down, although still at an elevated level. So we're adapting in real time. And what you see is an accumulation of individual assessments.
There you go. Someone who actually understands the economy talking about the economy. Unemployment up, inflation up, growth down, all because of Donald Trump and his tariffs and what he's trying to do. Trump is treating the economy like it's one of his casinos. And we all know how that ended.
Here's my issue, Steve. We have all-time highs of homeless people on our streets. The drug crisis in America is at all-time highs. The mental health crisis in America is at all-time highs. My kids' generation, the 20-year-olds, they can't afford rent. They can't buy a house. They can't afford insurance. They can't afford bills, and they are losing hope for the future in America.
I never thought I'd agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but damn, she's right. She is right. How about Gavin Newsome? What does he got to say?
And we're, by the way, a donor state. We provided $83.1 billion more than we received from the federal government. Texas took $71.1 billion. I'm not saying that to bash Texas, but you know what? Pretty proud of my goddamn state.
I saw
punching
that
above
too.
our weight, man. 9 out of 10 of the donor states are Trump states, and I don't mean that pejoratively, Trump. 7 of the 10 are Republican states, but 9 out of the 10 dependent states, welfare states, are Trump states. The donor states disproportionately the blue states. 71% of the country's GDP comes from blue counties. Mm-hmm. These same crack-up counties with all these crazy liberals that can't get out of their own goddamn way and the world's come to an end. It's 71% of the economy of the goddamn country, man.
You can always count on Gavin Newsome to drop some facts. 9 out of the 10 welfare states are Republican states, and the donor states are blue states. So there you have it, folks. The person who is ruining this economy, it starts from the top down, Donald Trump with his tariffs. We all are starting to feel it little by little, but it's coming. Because if you recall, he told us the tariffs were going to be paid for by these other countries. They'll pay for it. Americans will just be bringing in money. You don't have to worry about it. However, first thing that started to happen, Amazon. Amazon was like, well, our products are going to cost a little bit more, so we're going to put on our website how much more the tariffs have raised the prices of the products. And Trump said, no. And he kind of muscled Jeff Bezos, who said, okay, fine, we won't put that down. So Amazon has decided not to tell you how much more they're going to charge you. They're just going to charge you more and not tell you. Other places are starting to suffer, whether it's farms or steel or wherever, you name it, these tariffs have hurt. And let's start with, we all remember his first day when he announced it, which was Liberation Day, and the stock market tanked. It tanked, and people who had 401ks saw their savings just drop. Now, if they were able to stay in the market and wait for it to come back up, it came back up because Trump always chickens out, taco. So he called off the tariffs. But some people were not able to stay in the market because they needed that money, so they had to cash out some of their 401ks at a lower price. You know who did win because of the tariffs and the market going up and down, up and down? Rich people. Rich people who could afford to buy a ton of new stocks. When the market tanked, they bought the stocks, market went back up, they made a ton of money, including Donald Trump's friend Charles Schwab, who was in the Oval Office. You guys remember this video? Donald Trump goes, oh, this guy here made a couple $2 billion. Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, for rich people, he's doing great. He just passed this big, beautiful bill that's going to give a tax break to the rich, that is going to take away benefits from people who need it, whether it's Medicare or food for students that need it. So really, this guy, first of all, doesn't know what he's doing. And secondly, he's out for his donors. That's what it is. Let's face it. The donors win. The billionaires win. They continue to make more money. They don't care if the economy goes up and down. They got billions and billions. So you're worth a couple $100 billion. You lose $1 billion or $2 billion, whatever. You'll come back and make more because Donald Trump's going to find ways to give you government contracts. Elon Musk. Yeah, even though they had a falling out, Elon Musk still gets government contracts. So this whole thing, folks, is one big charade, okay? This guy has no idea he's the biggest shyster in the world. He himself has made some good money this year. I don't know how you guys are doing, but if you look at the average person, the average American, they're starting to see prices go up and even more, and they're having a harder and harder time. But Donald Trump and his family's been making a killing. They've got deals coming from crypto. They got deals coming from the Middle East. They got deals coming up the wazoo, you name it. They're giving deals to these people that are building these internment camps for ICE. Who do you think is building those? His friends are getting the contracts, and they're building Alligator Alcatraz. So if you haven't caught on to the fact that the rich are now manipulating the hell out of the system and just getting richer and richer, you may want to look at your own bank account and see where you're at, because you are going to get screwed. This all comes from trickle-down economics. Ronald Reagan and the Republicans convinced some people that if you let them get richer, that the money will trickle down and poor people will get the money, and people that need it, middle class and lower class, will get the money, and they'll share their money with everybody, which is the biggest bunch of BS in the world. They're not sharing their money with anybody. You give a billionaire a tax break, he's going to go and give himself a $500 million wedding in Venice, Italy. That's what's going to happen. We saw it happen with Bezos. We've seen it happen with Elon. We've seen it happen. These guys don't have unions for their companies. They don't want their workers to unionize to get benefits because they are greedy. And we have now more billionaires than we've ever had. So tell me more, Donald Trump, about how you're fixing the economy. By the way, the tariffs, one of his biggest advisors on tariffs was Peter Navaro. I've told this story before. You can look it up again. Rachel Maddow broke it. Peter Navaro had written a book called Death by China, which was a book that I believe Jared Kushner found and brought to Trump's attention, because Trump has been calling for tariffs and saying that we have been being cheated when it comes to tariffs and the trade deficit for years and years. He's been saying it. So when Jared Kushner saw this guy write this book, Death by China, where he was advocating for tariffs, Peter Navaro, he brought him to Trump's attention. He became an advisor to Donald Trump, and he was one of the main advisors for these tariffs. In his book, Peter Navaro was quoting an economist named Ron Vera, who was the economist who was saying that tariffs are good. They will help America. And yet, we come to find out that that economist did not exist. It was a made-up name, and it was actually an anagram of his own name. Peter Navaro took his own last name, created Ron Vera, and then created all these theories in his own book that tariffs are good, and tariffs have not been good. And all of this stuff, tariffs, the Doge cuts, all of that stuff has been being done in an effort to tell their base that we are cutting costs and we have money coming in from foreign governments. Therefore, we should give ourselves a tax break. This was all done for the big, beautiful bill tax break. And people suffer. People in the middle class, lower class suffer. Rich get richer. They've taken a ton of money and given it to ICE, who's deporting farm workers that we all need. Your strawberry is about to get more expensive. So you vote for a clown, you get a clown show, ladies and gentlemen. He's a shyster, and he is a charlatan, and he claims that it's all Biden's fault. That's what's crazy. By the way, please, when you're done with this video, I want you to Google Donald Trump takes credit for economy during Biden. During Biden's presidency, the stock market had a good day, and Donald Trump said, you know why that is? Because they know I'm going to win in the election, the next election, and I'll be back. So he took credit for the stock market moving up during Biden, and he gives Biden responsibility for anything bad that happens in his economy. It's a clown show. It's a clown show. And I don't know where we're headed with these tariffs. On day, one day, on off the other day. Companies don't know what to do. They're all just waiting. Do we order? Do we not order? You'll start seeing the squeeze coming in probably around Christmas and in the fall. You're going to start seeing those numbers really start to go up, and things that you were used to paying $1 for, you're going to be paying $1.20, $1.30. Who knows? He's putting tariffs on all kinds of stuff. And by the way, the trade deficit is different than the tariffs. And the trade deficit, just so you know, is where he's upset. He says some countries are buying less from us and selling us more, and they need to buy more from us. But some of these countries are poor. They can't afford to buy more. You can't make Vietnam buy more products from America when they go, we don't have the money to buy it. And yet this numbnut and his art of the deal, he's thinking that, hey, if I put more tariffs on Vietnam, somehow it's going to help us. It's not. It's just going to make things more expensive for us. So he never was a financial genius. He was never a business genius. His father gave him millions of dollars and he lost it in the casinos. He's gone bankrupt several times. He famously does not pay people for the work that they've done for him. And then he was rescued by Rob Burnett, who came up with The Apprentice and put him on there. And he made hundreds of millions of dollars from that. And then he was rescued by America's racism and bigotry because he leaned into it and they voted for him. And here we are. So those people who are racists and bigots and others who voted for this guy are going to start feeling the squeeze as he takes away their benefits, and they become more and more donor states. Yeah, they are more and more donor states, welfare states, I should say, welfare states, the red states. So those are his constituents that are going to start suffering. Well, folks, what am I going to say? I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a channel right here on YouTube. It's at Maz Jobrani. Give it a follow. Let me know you found me from Rebel HQ, and enjoy the comedy. We need laughter. As we go broke, let's get some laughs. Laughter is up. The economy's down. Laughter is up. Bye.